Liz Truss, she is Britain's Prime Minister, but for how long? That is a question that Britons are asking. Reports, in fact, saying it could be a matter of time before she's out the door. But just how did things reach this point? Let's first break it down for you. Liz Truss succeeded Boris Johnson as the UK Prime Minister, and it was a hard-fought victory. The fight was between Truss and the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak. Among other measures, Truss promised tax cuts and the freezing of energy bills. Her proposed policies won her the Prime Minister's seat, but one thing became clear as soon as her mini budget came out: she lacked a clear plan. The cost of her policies is estimated to be about £72 billion, and there was no plan on how to raise that kind of money. The UK markets went on a downward spiral. The pound was losing its value. Just her proposals were harming the British economy. Almost as soon as she took over, Truss was once again on the back foot. The time had come for damage control. On Friday, Liz Truss sacked Kwasi Kwarteng. He served as the Chancellor for less than 6 weeks. Kwarteng was replaced by Jeremy Hunt. Hunt's task was trying to undo the damage that was caused.
Firstly, we will reverse almost all the tax measures announced in the growth plan 3 weeks ago that have not started parliamentary legislation.
Hunt said his actions would raise about £32 billion a year, and that did help stabilise the markets on Monday. The pound also saw its highest one-day increase against the dollar since March 2020. But is this enough? Truss clearly did not think so. On Monday, she made a public apology during an interview with British media. Listen in.
Now, I recognise we have made mistakes. I'm sorry for those mistakes, but I've fixed the mistakes. I've appointed a new Chancellor. We have restored economic stability and fiscal discipline. And what I now want to do is go on and deliver for the public. We were elected on the 2019 manifesto. I'm determined to deliver on that.
Will the apology help stem the calls for her resignation? Well, at least 5 Tory MPs have already said that they want Liz Truss to step down. Even if she carries on as the Prime Minister, will she retain any real authority? I'm asking that because reports are saying that Hunt now has the real power in this government. One British tabloid has labelled Truss as the ghost Prime Minister, quote unquote. And if Truss does get sacked, who's next? Rishi Sunak's name is doing the rounds all over again. He did, remember, make it to the final round against Liz Truss. And more importantly, he predicted that Trussonomics was bound to fail. While Hunt may hold the reins at the moment, could this finally be Rishi Sunak's time to shine? And for more on this, we have with us senior journalist Andrew Whitehead joining us from London. Hi, Andrew. Good to have you with us. Now, this unfortunate uncertainty that is plaguing the UK all over again, just over a month after I was asking you this same question, whether or not the UK is now going to be gearing up for a leadership change. Is Britain losing trust in Liz Truss? And will this apology that she has made really quell the demand for her resignation that is coming in at multiple levels?
I think Britain has already lost trust in Liz Truss, and more than that, so has her own party, the Conservative Party. Conservative Party members elected Liz Truss as their party leader and so Prime Minister just a couple of months ago. But a poll that's been out in the last few hours, a poll of Conservative Party members, suggests that most of them want her to stand down. So the tide has turned very strongly against her. Her apology, I think, gives her some credit. At least there's a sense of contrition. But she says she's put things right. That's not how it feels here. Interest rates are still significantly higher than they were before the mini budget, even though almost all the measures in that budget introduced just a few weeks ago have now been rescinded. So the tide is against her. The issue is there's no consensus within the Conservative Party about who should take her place, and it's not clear by which mechanism she can be overthrown. But the mood in the party is very strongly against her.
Is there an immediate course of action when it comes to undoing the damage, the major turmoil caused by the mini budget? And is Rishi Sunak the front runner? As per reports, at least for now, his name has been doing the rounds. But in case things do reach that point, is Rishi Sunak the front runner, according to you?
Well, in terms of undoing the damage, Jeremy Hunt, the newly appointed Chancellor, has rescinded most of the tax cuts, and that has led to a little bit of stability in the financial market. So things are much calmer than they were 2 or 3 days ago, though interest rates, as I say, remain higher than they were. There's now talk that Jeremy Hunt himself could be very well placed to become Prime Minister, even though he stood for party leader twice and lost. Rishi Sunak's name is certainly being mentioned, and I think there's quite a lot of people in the Conservative Party who would welcome that. He's a very seasoned hand when it comes to economic policy. He absolutely didn't support the tax cuts which Liz Truss brought in and which have proved to be such a disaster. But it's quite difficult because he stood for party leader just a few months ago and he lost. So it's very difficult to say you lost, but you're still going to get the job. So I think the big uncertainty is about who could be a credible replacement for Liz Truss. And I think the quest is on for a consensus candidate, somebody who attracts support from all wings of the Conservative Party and would be a stabilising figure, a reassuring figure as far as the financial markets are concerned. And at the moment, it's not quite clear who that could be.
And we will keep a close eye on those developments. We're leaving it there for the moment, though. Andrew Whitehead, good to have you on the broadcast. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.